Good morning. I thought I'd alternate today and come onto my Facebook business page to move that notification off the screen. So it's just a quick get ready with me because I've got loads to do today, so not sure if I'd get a chance to get back on here. So how's everyone doing? Most of you are going to catch this on the replay because everyone's getting ready to bolt out the door the same as me. So have a good Friday. Okay, I'm going to start off by just applying some moisturiser to my face. If you do pop on, do come and say hello, and hopefully I'll get the comments in real time. Sometimes there can be a bit of a delay on them. So I'm applying moisturiser because I've got super dry skin at the moment, but if you don't, you can skip this step. Like, you know, for example, if you've got quite oily skin, we've had some really nice weather the last couple of days here in Manchester, and I think it's going to be nice again today. It's quite dull at the moment, but I think it's going to brighten up in a couple of hours, which is good. Okay, so I've applied our Unique Royalty Time Correcting Night Cream. So usually people will just apply this for night, but because I've got really dry skin, it's really helping with that. So I'm just going to give that chance to dry a little bit, and I'm going to come and tightline my eyes. So this is where I just push the liner into the base of my lashes on the inner eye. And these go on really soft, and you can see the difference. This side is quite defined and it reads really well on camera as well. So if I was to have your photographs taken now without mascara and just this, my eyes would still be quite defined. I don't normally pull up the lid like this, but it's just to show you what I'm doing. It's quite easy with a pencil, but you can also push with a liner brush into the base of your lashes. I'm going to tidy up my brows now. So we'll just brush them into place. I'm just finding another brush just to apply a little bit of pigment onto them. So this is our Brow Obsession palette, and I'm just going to use the lighter of the two. I'm just drawing a bit of an outline. My brows are extremely blonde, so you don't normally see them. And brows are so important to frame your face these days as well. It's hard to believe that we just like plucked them all off in the 90s. We barely had any. So what you can do, which I'm not too bothered about because I'm not out, I'm just at college this morning, is you can apply a darker pigment to the arch of your brow. I'm just keeping them simple today. Hi if you're watching, I can't see who's watching, but please do come on and say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. So I just give them a brush. And I'm just going to go under now and just highlight, and I like to use these are highlighters at the bottom, I like to use the pink of the two. So I just highlight underneath and then I just pull the highlighter down and just blend it in slightly, and it just tidies up the brow area. I'll just do the same on the top. One of them looks darker than the other. So apply a tiny bit more pigment to this one. So you just use quite a fine brow liner, you can just mimic hair strokes. I'm just going to apply a little bit more to the arch. And you know what they say when it comes to doing your brows, not to worry about them being exact because they're sisters and not twins. Okay. Just going to apply a little bit of the wax to keep them in place. And this just pushes down any stray hairs that you might have, and it just keeps them in place for the rest of the day. Hi Jenny! Okay, they're done. Now I'm going to add a little bit of primer. And this is great because it helps to keep your makeup, you only need a tiny little bit, it keeps your makeup in place for the rest of the day. It also blurs any fine lines and wrinkles that you might have. And if you've got any like bumpy skin or anything like that, it almost covers over that and like smooths it out slightly. It makes your skin feel like silk as you apply it as well. Okay, I tend to let that dry for a bit, and I'm just going to do my eyes before I go on to the base makeup. So I'm going to be using a splurge today on the mobile lid, and I'm going to be using Victoria. So this is like, it's like a nude matte colour. Before I do that, I just want to define the crease a little bit. So I'm just going to use a crease brush and use quite a dark pigment in the crease. So your crease is, if you like just look up, you can see where your crease is, and you can actually move your crease. Like, you know, some of us have quite hooded eyes, so you can actually make your mobile lid look a little bit bigger by, you know, making your crease a little bit higher up if you wanted to, or make it a little bit lower. I'm just going to stick with where my actual crease is for now. So I'll just apply a little bit of this dark brown, this dark chocolate brown pigment into the crease area, and I am going to blend it, so don't worry about how it looks. And the pigments I'm using are already infused with primer, so obviously I've just put some face and eye primer on anyway, but you don't necessarily have to put primer on your eyelids before you use these press shadows, but I would advise that you do if you're on a night out and you really want the colours to pop. But I'm just looking here for like a very basic, simple, smoky look. You can see as well how easily they blend. It just creates a little bit of definition on the eye. Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute, and I'm just going to, we have a cream shadow brush for this, but I'm actually going to use my finger because I like to just warm up the actual cream shadow. It feels like it breaks the seal almost when I rub my finger over it, and then I just pat it gently onto the eyelid. So I start at the base of the lashes, and then I just gently move it round in like a half moon shape, so almost like doing a very simple cut crease look. And obviously this is easier to do if you've got like a flat cream shadow type brush like this. Just going to do the other side. And you can as well, instead of taking it over, I've done like a half moon shape on the eyelid because I quite like that look, but you could bring the smoky colour, you know, more or less halfway, or you know, a third of the way onto your lid, and then just allow this shade to meet in the middle and then just blend it out, and that also looks quite nice. Okay, now that's on, I just blend, just make sure there's like no harsh lines, and just make sure that you blend on the actual lid as well. A lot of people forget that and just just blend the crease and they don't blend what they've put on the actual lid. I think my problem sometimes when I'm doing eye makeup, or particularly if I'm using quite a few press shades and doing quite a complicated eye look, is that I do tend to overblend sometimes, so I do have to stop myself a little bit. Okay, so that's quite a clean, simple day look. You can actually wear this nude shadow on its own, and it's very nice. So I'm going to apply my Epic mascara now, and I've got nothing on my lashes. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the base makeup, so I'll just leave the mascara off the top lashes for now. So this is the One Step mascara, so there's no fibres involved today, and it's going to give me length, it's going to curl them, which I do need because mine are very flat, and it's also going to give volume. So I think this is probably our #1 spot for best selling products at the moment. It may have overtaken our flagship product, the 3D Fibre Lash. So you can see the difference already. And this is a clump free formula as well, so you don't need to sit there and brush through your lashes. But if your lashes do stick together, then I would brush, you just comb them through gently just before you apply the mascara. I'm just going to do the other side. What's everyone up to today? If you're watching this on the replay as well, just do come on and say hello and just put #replay. I do go back and check any comments afterwards, because like I said, sometimes you don't actually get them on the live feed. Sometimes there is a delay on that. Okay, so I've done a coat on both lashes and I've not dipped the wand back into the tube. So you can see that the mascara, the formula itself, is quite a silky formula, and it's allowed me to do both sides. So then if you wanted to apply a second coat, you would just let it dry for a minute in between coats. So that's just the one coat. Hopefully you can see with me looking up and looking down. So I'd be happy with that for the rest of the day, because I don't need mega long lashes. I'm just going to have a swig of my cup of tea. Okay, now I'm just going to use a little bit of concealer just underneath the eyes and just see if I can hide a little bit of this red patch, but I'm not going to apply too much because it's just so dry under there. I don't want anything clinging to the dry bits. So I'm just using a bit of a concealer brush, and I'm only applying the tiniest bit. You don't have to go right up to your eye. Some people think that that makes their eyes look a little bit smaller, so they don't like to do that, but it's entirely up to you. You can bring it right out if you want to. I'm just going to wet a beauty blender and just push that into the skin. So So I can still see that there's slightly a little bit of a pink pigment, but it's not quite as red as it was. Okay, I'm going to apply this bad boy now. So all you do to begin with is just open it, squeeze any of the product out of the dropper, because this is an oil-based foundation, so you want to give it a good shake before you begin, and just make sure the whole formula shakes before you apply it onto your skin. And then once you've given it a good shake, you can then squeeze some more back into the dropper ready to apply on your brush. So I'm going to do it the simple way. Like I've said before, we do have an actual liquid foundation brush which has a tiny well in the centre, and that's to apply a couple of drops of product, and then you just dot it around your face. You can apply this directly to your skin as well, but I'm going to use our powder puff brush, which isn't actually meant for applying liquid foundation, but it just works really well. So depending on the size of your drops, I tend to just go with 2 or 3, and then you can always go back because it's so much easier to add makeup as opposed to take it away. So I just make sure that I just evenly apply the product to my face, but particularly to the areas that you need it. So you don't need foundation over your whole face. If you only have like problem areas, say more or less in the centre, you can just apply your foundation just to the centre of your face if you choose to. You can see how easily this blends. And the powder puff brush as well is quite soft, so it's not dragging at my skin. And just blend it into your neck as well. I have to, because I get some terrible areas of redness under here as well due to hormones. It's terrible, isn't it? I used to have the most beautiful skin right through my teens, and now I'm nearly 40, I get hormonal skin. So you just make sure that it is really blended in. I'm just going to double check in my mirror. And then if you was using, what was really good about this one is that it gets in really well around the nose, and it's also great for cleaning up any shadow. And so if you've gone a little bit crazy with your pigments, you can just clean it up afterwards. Okay, so I've only applied a light coverage. This has lasted me, well, since we launched it actually. I've had it quite a long time, but I only use 2 or 3 drops on my face. I don't go for a very heavy coverage. You can obviously make this heavier if you apply some loose foundation or some powder foundation on the top. Or if you want a heavier coverage from this itself, then, you know, you would apply maybe 5 or 6 drops. You know, but, you know, if I wanted a bit more coverage again, I could apply a couple of dots to those areas and just go over. But I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just going to have another swig of my tea and just check the time, because I need to be out the door in like 5 to 10 minutes. Right, so all I'm going to do now is just do a little bit of contouring. So I like to use Fierce, which is one of our old concealers that we don't do anymore, and I just tap a little bit out into the lid, swirl my brush into it, and this is just a contouring brush. Tap off the excess, and then I just apply it just underneath my cheekbone. So if you don't know where that is, just feel underneath your cheekbone and go in the direction from like the top of your ear to just where your cheekbone ends. It depends on your face shape. Some people bring it in and bring it down. It depends on your shape, so you just need to get to know your face shape. And I remember reading through like Wade Bandy's books, and he was like a makeup artist guru from like the 70s. He's not here anymore, but he used to advise people to sit in front of a mirror and to place their hands actually on the face and just to feel for their cheekbones, you know, for any areas that jut out, etc., and just really get to know your own face. So this contouring, I just try and keep it simple, but it does slim down your face slightly, and I particularly like it here where I've got quite a high wide forehead. It just brings it in slightly and gives the illusion that it's not so wide. And then you can apply it to the sides of your nose. Again, you can use this to slim down your nose, and I like to just take it across the tip. I take it underneath the lip as well, which makes your lips appear a little bit bigger. And you can bring it down onto your neck, and then you just need to make sure that you blend it. I really don't want to be in the college today with like that awful lighting and I'm sitting there with like a stripy tiger face. So just blending away any stripes on my nose, and now I'm just going to blend on the jawline. And then blend upwards towards the ear. I know some people walk around and they have quite like bright contour underneath their cheekbones, but I really don't like that. I like it to just really blend into the skin and look like an illusion. You want it to look natural. If it's too heavy, it ends up looking like drag queen makeup, which is where the techniques come from. But obviously when they do it, you know, they do it to the extreme because that's the look that they're going for, and they tend to be on stage, and obviously it's stage lighting and things like that they've got to take into account. I'm just going to double check that I've got no harsh lines. Okay, so now I'm going to apply a little bit of metallic blusher. So this is one of my favourites. It was a limited edition one, and it has got tiny specks of luminizer in it as well, which is really nice. So with any mineral product, you just make sure that you swirl the brush. It just activates the minerals, and then tap off any excess. And then you apply to your cheekbones. You can smile to find out where your cheekbones are, but if you're getting older, you might not want to do that because it can sit in any wrinkles or fine lines that you've got. So I just swirl it onto my cheekbone and then take it back towards my ear, and you can see the highlighter. Some people take this in a C shape and take it around their eyebrow as well, but I'm going to apply a tiny little bit of highlighter above it, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to blend that out a little bit. And I'm going to use, so this is a powder luminizer. This one is iridescent, and then you just take a fan brush. If you haven't got a fan brush, you can just get an ordinary brush like this and just squeeze out the bristles and just maybe put like a clip on there just to keep it in place. So you can create your own fan brush, save yourself some money. So again, just swirl the fan brush into the products because it is a mineral based product. Tap off any excess. And then I just take it on top of the cheekbone, over the eyebrow, you can apply it to the arch as well. I have got some highlighter on there already, if you remember the pink one from the Brow Obsession palette. So just above your Cupid's bow as well, just define those lips, and I take it down the centre of the nose, and you can apply it just on the centre of your forehead as well. Okay, and lip wise today, I'm just going to go for the Hottie Lip Plumper, and I'll just stick a little bit of Lucrative lip gloss on top. This is gorgeous, it's a lip plumper, and some people are getting amazing results with it. I did notice that it did improve my lips, it improved the plumpness of them a little bit. But I just love how it tingles on the lips as well, so you can feel that it's actually doing something. And over the top of that, I'm going to apply, I think I'm going to apply Lovesick. So this is just one of our lip glosses. It's quite nice because it's got a little mirror as well, so if you are applying on the go just a touch up, you can see what you're doing. And this is just a pretty, like, pinky coral colour. Right, so if you have popped on while I'm on live, you know, thank you for watching. If you're catching on the replay, let me know. I do go back and check any comments, because like I said, sometimes I don't get them on the live feed, but I'm going to go now because I need to sort out this frizzy mess and then I need to bolt out the door. But thank you for watching, guys. Bye.